attention really quick before they start making announcements, okay? You know how we go to Clever to go to our homeroom
Yes.
and we go and look up our points?
Yes.
Okay, so which way do we go? What do we click on?
Clever.
Uh,
On the top. On the TV.
And then where do you go from there?
Scroll down. And there's
Down.
PBS
Report. Okay, so we go to Clever and go to PBS report. And then, remember we said we're going to where?
School store.
School, is it school store?
I mean school.
No, we're gonna go to
Store.
store. So you will find my store.
And then
How do we look?
teachers.
Go to teachers.
Then scroll down.
Scroll down. And then you're gonna go to
It's Kelly.
right here, Miss Kelly's store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, oops, back.
No.
Now, remember, we have different things that you can get. Those things that you can get are based off of what? Points, right?
Do one.
Correct? So we have where you can get 5 points for hoodies on. 20 points gives you a lunch with me, the teacher. 15 points gives you Minecraft minutes. 2 points gets you quiet time color sheet, like you can get a color sheet from me. And 10 points gives you stickers. 5 points lets you do stuffed animal for independent reading, like you can bring your stuffed animal to read with you during independent reading. And then treasure box is 1 point. Now, for all of these, it is the same expectation as if you were doing independent reading. Remember, what is expected of you? That you are doing what? When you're doing independent reading, what is it that you're doing?
Quietly reading.
Quietly reading. So the same expectation goes for all of these, because you're getting rise points, correct?
Yes.
So you're being respectful, you're being independent, you're being safe and engaged. So in order for you to use these, if you redeem your points for either wearing a hoodie in class, that means you're still doing the rise expectations in class. You can wear your hoodie in class, but when we go outside in the hallway and the rest of the school, what are we doing?
Taking our hoodie off.
Taking our hoodie off because we need to be respectful to the other students. In here, you can wear it if you have bought your hoodie time, right? What about lunch with a teacher? All you gotta do is redeem it, and then we will talk about when is the best time for us to have lunch together. Because if I have a meeting, can I have lunch with you?
No.
So once you redeem it, we can go ahead and schedule a time for us to have lunch.
The
And
rest.
that's 20 points. You can purchase the color sheet with 2 points. And you can color it for morning time or recess or whenever you want, okay? Then you have the stickers. If you redeem those 10 points and you say, Miss Kelly, I want to choose some stickers, I will let you choose some stickers at that time, okay? Now, when you're doing this, again, you're still doing your rise expectations, meaning you're still being respectful, right? After being respectful, what's the next thing?
Stay engaged.
Rise, guys. What's the next letter after R?
I.
Which is what?
Independent.
Independent. That means you're doing things you're supposed to do by yourself without me having to remind you.
And safe.
And safe is, S is safe. So you're doing things safely. Are you running around the room while you're redeeming your points or after you redeem your points?
Engaged. Engaged.
Engaged. That means that you're that you're making sure that you're not bothering anybody else during your time that you're using these points and redeeming them. Okay? Now, can somebody come up to their computer? Well, Elijah, come up to your computer and we're gonna show everyone how to go ahead and redeem them, okay?
it's working kind of, it's building up. It's got a slow start, but the kids seem real interested. I just have to come up with some other incentives that would make them more engaged into trying to get it, to try it, attain it. So that's something that I probably would have to do a little bit more research as to what the kids are interested in. So because they're getting the points, they're doing the rise expectations, they're meeting the expectations. So it's just finding things that they're interested in to actually redeem them for. So that's something that I have to figure out. Students that I was really trying to target for the PBIS program for the points to get this incentive working. Some of them actually got into getting the points and then they started to taper off. So I need to find a way to make it more consistent for them to remain on track. So at least they're earning points now, because before they weren't earning points. So I'm proud of that, and they do see a tally of how much points everybody else has. So they're like, "Oh, I gotta get more points." So that's like a plus for me. so of course they're gonna try to get the points by doing what they're supposed to do. So that's something that I was like, yes. So that was progress. Basically them trying to make sure that, like, I do have one student that was asking me, am I doing good? Am I doing good? And she never really was asking that question before. So it seems like she's wanting to she wants to please me, but she's like also like, do I have points? You know, like she's like really wanting to make good or do well for herself. I'm not having to repeat the expectations as often as I used to. They are engaged in the lesson. They're not disrupting my lesson or interrupting. I don't have to stop every 5 minutes to say, please be quiet or stop moving or anything like that. So 80% of the class is on board. So that's a good thing for me. I did learn that you may not have 100% of the class that are going to get on board. Because of our class environment or our school environment, there are students that they're not going to try to do what you want them to do, even if it's for their own benefit. So that was something that I had to accept, you know. When students are asking me, when are we going to redeem, or when can I have lunch with you? That I was surprised about. I was like, you want to have lunch with me? Because I'm thinking they want to do the color sheets, or they want to do the Minecraft, or to just get a time to read to themselves with their stuffed animals. I'm thinking they want to do that, but no, they were like, when can I have lunch with you? I was like, oh, okay, I guess you want to spend time with me. Yeah, so that was kind of surprising. The only one is really what I mentioned before is well, when we spoke to early, was making sure that I set out time to redeem the points, because we do our Friday. I'm sorry, the school does a school store for the grade levels. So ours is on Fridays in the morning. So I was trying to tie it in by doing it right after announcements. That way they can have whatever they're going to have that day in the afternoon, or lunch with me, or coloring sheets for the afternoon, so that it's done early in the day so I don't forget. But it's been a challenge because you're trying to catch up with, okay, we got this lesson, we got this. So that's the thing that's holding me up, or like you said, a roadblock. It's just putting that time in to redeem and then getting it done for everybody. Because, you know, with 80% of the class doing what they're supposed to do, you can imagine everybody's wanting something to be redeemed. So it's like, oh, I'm going to need some time, or 30 minutes or so to do this. Again, this is how collaboration helps, right?
Yes.
We're sitting here figuring it out together. So yes, I'd like to. Because I've been trying to get this started for like 2, 3 years now. So I finally got it in place. I just need to make sure it runs smoother than it is. And then it started working on its own, like where I wouldn't have to repeat myself every day, all day, you know? So I was like, oh, thank God, something is actually working with this group. So this is how it has worked for me. And I think it is working for the students too, because they have they have a better understanding of how the flow of the class should go. You know, I shouldn't have to be stopping every 5 minutes to tell you to stop talking, even if it's about the subject we're talking about. I think I want to see how this one plays out. I want them to really master this first, then we can change it or introduce something else. I would like to make sure that it is sticking, you know? I think I'm gonna again leave it as it is right now because these students need something that is routine, self-control, and monitoring yourself and what you do, and that's a skill that they really need to learn, not just for school but for life. You know.
I think that's a good idea too to continue focusing to strengthen this for the rest of the school year because there's about
Mm-hmm.
a month or so left.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly at the beginning of next year, revisiting this same strategy and goal and then deciding, do you want to change the strategy or goal then?
Exactly.
Feel more comfortable.
Yeah. The next group will be, first of all, they'll get it a lot earlier. So we would have time to introduce another strategy if necessary or change it to something else. Because if this is mastered, they might not need another strategy for the same goal. They might just need something different. I'm not sure. Maybe in a few weeks to see what has changed or progressed.
We'll do like a check-in. Do you want to try the calendar?
Oh, yes,
Alrighty.
to make sure that that works a little bit smoother.
All right. And that task will be done by the time we meet again. I like that.
Those are giving them that many options or time frames to fill in, or to at least try to fill the calendar up during the time. That's alleviating the stress of like, oh my God, I didn't get everybody.
Okay. How committed are you to this goal now?
I am at when you say committed, meaning like I'm going to stop everything and do it. I'm like at a 4.
Okay.
Stop everything and do it is 5.
Okay. Being able to make it consistent and finding the designated time for that.
Exactly.
All right. And that's something we can work on to hopefully get you feeling about a 5 on that. And I
Yep.
am excited to continue working with you, Miss Kelly.
Thank you. I appreciate your help with this.